this is our planet. I think most of us know this, which is why we're probably here. I don't know if you've heard of the overview effect. It's kind of a psychological effect. When the astronauts go up out in space, it turns out they look down upon our planet. They see this beautiful blue planet, and they go through what they call spiritual transcendence. Tears come through their eyes, and they recognize how fragile life on this planet is, and they fall in love with life. Even when they come back, it stays with them. And a predominant effect of this overview effect turns out to be the fact that we are a blue planet. They describe our planet as blue with splotches of green. Human beings live a very non-allocentric life. You know, we live on Earth, and so we talk about the Earth, we talk about land. We are obsessed with how we can get more land. Our maps are always about the geographies of land. The entire blue, which is actually a bit more than 70% of our planet, not just 70, we completely ignore. We don't bring it up. But that is the blue machine that I'm going to talk to you about. Not the book, but what we're working on. So the amazing thing about our oceans, and pardon me if there are lots of experts here. I'm a newfangled expert, 2 years old, so I could be wrong. But the amazing thing about oceans is not only are oceans incredible and beautiful and give you that great holiday and the margarita you need after a really hard year at work, they also are the things that sustain life. It's not just the primordial soup that we all came from, the ocean. It's also where everything goes back. It's the recycle machine of the world. What we also don't forget, or don't remember and often forget, is that it is 90% of the world's heat sink. It's not land. The oceans absorb 90% of the world's heat, 90%. And it also produces over 50% of the oxygen that we breathe. So they are, in effect, the actual lungs of the planet, not the Amazonian tropical forest in absolute numbers. It's phytoplankton in the ocean and everything else that actually does that. But another incredible thing about the ocean is it is a huge carbon sink. It absorbs one of the largest amounts of carbon that any hemisphere or biosphere does. It's a massive carbon sink because of several reasons. And I'm going to tell you about actually a type of blue carbon that we are obsessed with. So blue carbon is essentially carbon that gets absorbed by, that is taken out by things like mangroves and seagrasses and marshes and seaweed. We love seaweed at Samudra, don't we? And there was some seaweed food here. Thank you. I hope that was in our honor. Seaweed is basically a miracle. It is a zero input crop. It literally doesn't ask for anything. And it grows and it produces incredible stuff. And while it does that, it actually takes out 2x to sometimes 50x more carbon than an equivalent area of even tropical rainforests. Now imagine how scalable is that solution. We have 1.7 million kilometers of coastline on this planet, only utilized for a bit of holiday resorting and occasional fishing and shipping lines. UK alone has 1,700 square kilometers of coastline. If we could use even 1% of that and applied it to natural decarbonization with seaweed, you could take out more than 1 gigaton from the atmosphere each year sustainably. And you would reduce ocean acidification. And you would increase ocean biodiversification and create thousands of jobs for tier 2, tier 3 coastal towns and SIDS, small island developing states, who are at the forefront of climate change. We know that's true because we do have farms in Scotland, Jamaica. We just got a farm in Canada. We have 3 farms in Jamaica. And we're embarking on pilots in Peru, Mexico, and perhaps Oman. So we know what it does to every region that it has gone to. So if this is all awesome, why aren't we doing it forever? Because if you talk to scientists, they've always known it. I grew up with a conservation botanist, my mom. So I've been sampling seaweed since I was 3.5 years old. And even today, if I can't identify a species, I send her a picture and she just tells me like, oh, that's Latissima sarcosima, whatever, I don't know. She's really good at that. And she's been talking about it for forever, as far as I remember. So if we knew this in the scientific world for a really long time, why haven't we scaled this? Creates jobs, takes out carbon, produces bioplastics, superfood, L'Oreal anti-aging kelp cream. I mean, it's a miracle. Let's do more of it, right? We don't. Because guess what? It is insanely hard to scale a crop in the ocean. You can grow it on land, put on your flip-flops and check how it's doing. But if your farm's 20 kilometers from coast, you're going to get on a boat, look at the weather. The tide is at 3 a.m. It's -8 degrees. You don't have divers. The boat sails isn't working. If the sails are working, it's too cold. Or it's Christmas Day, you need to be home. It's a really hard thing to do. I'm on boats a lot. in 5 millimeter wetsuits. If you know the difference between 3 and 5, you'll know why I said 5. And trust me, going out once a month kills me. These farmers do it for a living every single day of their life for their entire livelihood. You have no idea how hard it is. How are we going to ask them to scale this? They cannot. It's bloody hard and it's near impossible. So the only way to scale is what we did with every industrial revolution. Ta-da! Here comes people from Silicon Valley who think they're best things in sliced bread and are totally wrong. But we made an attempt. Seems to be working so far. We created robotics and AI that scales seaweed farming. Mass automated robotics and mass automated marine steel frames with intelligence and AI-driven decision making. It's kind of like the concept of 40 feet by 8 feet containerized farms, but in the ocean. They monitor, they optimize, they tell you when to harvest, they text you back, they send you pictures. Kind of like baby monitors, Imagine not having them. Like, those of you who have kids here, you don't know what I'm saying. This is insanely hard. This is amazing because this is the crop that everyone cares about. And now you can scale it up, save the planet, and make money at the same time. That's cool, right? And I tell you, it works. This is my 4th gig. I've been a founder over 10 years with 3 exits, not massive ones, but they were exits. And I can tell you that I've never built a company that has grown as fast as this one has in terms of revenue, people, impact, customers, everything. And I actually did the AI B2B SaaS thing you talk about, and it's still faster than that, and we are hardware. That's the power and capability of this solution.
And guess what? We've seen this before in oil and gas, in shipping, in navy, industries that have operated for over hundreds of years. They've embraced technological advances, which have transformed the way that they work. A captain of a ship is not going to go and dive into the freezing water just to check the hull. No, they're going to use robotics, automation, and sensors. So why on earth are we farming seaweed as if it's the 1800s? Why don't we use technology that adds carbon to our planet and instead use it to remove carbon? And that's exactly what we're doing at Samudra Oceans. So we're not saying do more of the same thing. No, more boats, more ropes, more manual labor. That's not going to meet the demands of today. So instead is what we're adding is robotics and AI to create fully automated farms that can monitor themselves, adapt to real-time conditions, and that can optimize production. We're not here to play smaller. We can now scale like never before. And also we can actually now capture 1 gigaton of carbon by 2033. This is not a far off dream. This is happening now.
Thank you so much. If you want to be part of our journey in any way, ideas, concerns, questions, doubts, anything at all, come find me. And Milivoy, there's Bao somewhere here. He's also a part of my crew, wearing our hat. And there's also John, our advisor. So come speak to us. We'd love to hear from you, whatever thoughts you have around this. And don't forget to eat that sushi nori without the fish, but at least the seaweed every time you go order. And once again, congratulations and many, many, many wishes to you, Juliet, for creating this beautiful room of people. Thank you.